Hey everyone, George here, and welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, my voice is crackling, and I have had this thing going on now for several weeks, and I'm really annoyed by it. But I wanted to get this video out today because I thought it was so important, and I hope that you'll bear with me and try to understand that this was so important to me that regardless of my voice, I wanted to get this out. It's going to be a short video, but it's going to be an important video. In the meantime, if you have not subscribed to the channel, take a moment to do so and leave your comments down below and give me a like on this if this is something that you find important and you want to let me know that this subject matter is something you want to hear more of. Anyways, I want to start by saying that if you are buying a pet, whether it be a dog, a cat, a fish, any of these things that you're trying to bring home, understand that all of these animals need to have a little thought put into them before you make that purchase. In other words, if you are not prepared to care for these animals and you are not really thinking about what it takes to give them the best possible life, then you probably shouldn't do it. Maybe it's something that you should take a little time and give yourself a little space to really think about. Don't be pressured by your children when you're in a pet store or those kinds of things to buy something that you know nothing about or have no ability to care for. These are not creatures. Fish are not creatures where you can just throw them in a tank, put a filter system on there, and expect them to live. There is so much more to it. Now, I want to tell you a short story here about something that happened to me the other day. I was walking into my local pet store, and a gentleman out front had 7 discus fish that were all about 2.5 inches, and he was bringing them into the store. Now, this is not the first time this has happened to me, but it is something that really is startling to me because it's happening with more and more occurrence over the last year or so that I've noticed. And this gentleman approached me and asked me if I knew whether or not the store took in discus fish. And I said, I don't think that they do because they don't sell discus fish here, but let me take a look at them. They were absolutely beautiful little fish that he had only had for a few days, but he had realized very quickly that he'd got himself in way too deep and did not know what it took to really care for these animals. So, me being me, I went ahead and told him that I would take them off his hands and I would take them and put them in my rescue tank and take care of them and try to nurse them to proper health. They're absolutely beautiful fish. Some of these fish that he purchased were, $100 or more in a store, and easily some of the most beautiful white discus. I think I'll put up a picture here so that you can see what some of these look like. Some of the most beautiful white discus that I've ever seen. Now, I don't know the variety exactly. I'll find out more about that. But this video is really about thinking about what you do before you make a purchase of discus fish or any of these larger fish that you don't know anything about. There's so much involved in preparing for these fish. Not that these fish are much harder to keep than any other fish, but they're sort of a specialty fish where the size that they grow to and the care that they need is something you really have to take some time to really think about what you're doing before you make that purchase and make sure that you have all of what is required to care for them in place before you ever bring them home. What I find is a lot of people are impulse buyers. They buy these fish, they don't understand what their needs are. They are impulsive buys because of their beauty, the color, and all of these things. They think that they can simply take them home, throw them in this guy was trying to throw these guys into a 20-gallon tank and expecting that they were going to do just fine in there because of their size. He did not understand, because somebody did not explain it to him, because he bought these off the internet, I believe, that these fish are going to double and triple in size, and in some cases, depending on the variety, are going to be gigantic fish that are going to require a 75-gallon minimum to a 120-gallon tank, and one that's going to need a lot of care. He didn't understand any of that because no one explained it to him. He actually told me that he had gone into a store in the Seattle area, saw their discus fish on display, and went home, looked online, tried to find the varieties that he thought were the most beautiful, bought these fish all at once, and realized after just 2 or 3 days, I can't remember exactly what he told me, that they weren't eating correctly, that his water parameters were off the charts, and he was afraid that they were going to die. And when you buy off the internet like that, you cannot just send these fish back. There is something that you're stuck with, and if you are not prepared, you're going to be in a lot of trouble as far as trying to keep these fish alive. So what I'm trying to say here is, whether it's a dog or a cat or a discus fish or whatever, put some thought into what you're doing before you make a purchase, because it is something that you are investing in for 10 to 15 years. These fish can live 10 to 15 years in good environments. So your commitment to these fish is a long period of time, and if you are not prepared to take care of them for that length of time, then you have no business purchasing them whatsoever. Now, anyone out there who's done the same thing and is in trouble right now with their situation, comment down below and let me know, and I will try to help you find the resources to get those fish someplace where they can be cared for. Or if you're interested in keeping the fish, we can talk about how we can make their lives better by just giving me what your circumstances are, and I will tell you at whatever level you're at where you need to go next to get these fish to be healthy and to survive. And many, many times people bring these fish home, spend a lot of money on them, and they end up within a week or so with a tank full of diseased fish, and they don't understand what's going wrong, why they're not eating, why they're acting so strangely, why they're hiding. These are special fish. They're fish with personalities, and they're fish that have a shyness about them to a certain extent. There are a pecking order that goes on here that people don't understand, that they've never been told about, where there's a hierarchy and a lowerarchy, and somewhere along the way they're going to figure all of this out by fighting in the tank. Some of the fish that he presented to me had torn fins and things like that, where they were already just within the 3-day period that he had them, probably because of the conditions they were living in, but also because it's natural for these fish to find that pecking order, have that hierarchy, and live the way they normally would in the wild. So I want you to really think about this when you're going out and purchasing fish. It's so important that you understand what you're getting yourself into, and that you are prepared to take care of these fish properly. Now, if you've done this, I don't want you to feel bad about it. What I want you to do is try to understand that if you want an out on this, I can find the resources for you individually, one-on-one, to help you find a place to take these fish and let somebody take care of them that knows what they're doing, has the ability to take care of them, and so forth. If you don't have that ability near you, then let's try to work together to get you into a situation where you can get your fish healthy, and we can work fast to do that. Thank you for joining me today. I thought this was an important video. I wanted to get it out. My voice is absolutely shot. I've got a cold. I don't know what's going on with it. It's just been hanging on, and I'm trying so hard, but I just can't stop living. So with all the other health issues that I've had, and this, it's very, very demanding on my body, but I want you to know that this video was so important for me to make that I thought I'm just going to have to get through this. So again, I apologize if my voice is crackling and whatever, and I hope you were able to understand me well enough to know that this is an important subject to me. Thank you for joining me today. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Leave your comments down below. If you don't hear from me within 24 to 48 hours, I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I never leave questions unanswered if they're important. And so know that if you leave something in the comment section, especially in this video where I'm asking you to come to me if you're having problems with maybe making a purchase that you regret or a purchase that you were not prepared for, and see if we can solve this problem together. Thank you for joining me. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up over the weeks and months to come. Again, thank you, and we will see you on the next one. Until then, we're out of here.